This is the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. We have assembled the world's finest sports and trivia dorks to prove once and for all that we are just as bad at this as we were at sports.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, sports trivia for those of us who know the pine. Welcome to episode 309. You've heard it correctly. We've done this 308 other times, and we haven't stopped yet. Maybe this is the last. We'll never know until you know. Today's game, we'll be pitting the Benchwarmer team of Walling and Marcus versus Benchwarmer Josh and returning player and general manager on our Patreon team, Riley Scherer. Welcome back, Riley. Last time I hosted, you were here, so I think this is now a tradition, kind of like the Masters, but I won't bring that up with Walling here. He applied today. He's just a glutton for punishment. Anyway,
sad. It's just sad.
Riley, how you doing, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm wearing a boot.
A boot? Like a trunk in London?
No, I'm just, that's my Canadian accent coming through. Anyway, what's new with you, sir?
Nothing. Same old, same old. What's new with you?
Other than the boot, nothing. You're teamed up with Josh. Josh, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. I'm assuming the boot has to do with your previous 5K injury.
It was an injury prior to the 5K.
Oh, pre-5K injury.
Pre-5K, and the 5K just pissed it off nice and good.
Got it. Did you figure out what it is?
Yeah, no, I don't know if I said this because I had my throwback trivia takedown game today. I had an MRI done, and it tells you like so many things that are wrong. Like, but if my ankle's only yay big, so like they scanned just my ankle. In 5 things, they're like, you got all this stuff wrong with it, and none of it is good. So,
Ankle injuries are bad.
Yeah. So, I knew playing football my entire life would catch up to me. I just didn't know it was going to be at this age. I thought maybe 60s or so. No, just your foot hurts. Here's a boot.
Do you have CTE of the ankle?
Basically. Anyway, so what team name do we have today, Sean?
Well, Riley likes having a good time. He's a self-professed not great at sports trivia, but he loves coming on. So we've set an over-under at 3 because our team name is the over-under on drinks consumed by Riley. So if anybody wants to place their wagers.
3.5. I'm taking the over. I'm hammering the over.
Yeah, I would.
Even if it's minus 220, I'm taking it.
All right, nothing but water from here on out. He put $100 on it.
All right, over to Marcus and Walling. How you gentlemen doing?
I'm doing well. I have no boot. I do have a swollen knee, so I'm kind of in the Ede leg injury boat, but not quite there yet. Yeah, we've recently attended a Savannah Bananas game, so that was pretty awesome. Anybody who gets a chance, it's everything they say it will be and more.
Yes.
It's amazing. It is a little bit of sensory overload. Like we walked in at about 5:30, and I don't think they stopped with bits, dancing, or music until about 10:30. But that's still pretty great. And as aforementioned by Ede, I did put my name in the Masters tickets hat again. I'm assuming somewhere in Augusta, Georgia, they saw it, laughed, and deleted my email, as they do every year. So I'm looking forward to that disappointment coming up, and I am excited to team with Marcus.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm doing well. The Mariners and Twins just had a bizarre series of games that took years off of my life. But I think we can all agree that Cal Raleigh is the best player in baseball, and there's no really arguing that. So I'm glad we could all agree on that because I'm looking at everybody and they're nodding, and that's what's happening.
I totally agree.
And then tomorrow, first day of spring ball, so it's my first official day as an OC, so I'm freaking out a little bit. I feel wildly underprepared, but we're gonna march forward. So, and Walling and I's team name, we stumbled across a very amazing bit of video from Star Trek. I think it's The Next Generation, right? Is that what that?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
And it's sports related because we found out that in this clip that Worf plays soccer, and he also confessed something else. So our team name today is Worf Killed a Kid.
Look it up. Just Google Worf killed a kid soccer. Can we have AI actually make the scene where Worf turns
Yes.
around and the kid's neck is
Oh my
90
God.
degrees and yeah.
And then it's almost like a comic book thing, and then it's just
Yes.
the next day he dies.
Yeah.
He died the next day.
He died the next day.
And episode title, he died the next day. Oh yeah, we got trivia to do, huh? All right, Dan, are you here? We need rules.
The game will consist of 4 quarters of play, each with different trivia style. The styles of quarters 1 through 3 will change from show to show, and I will explain them as we go along. Like any good sporting event, we will have a halftime show after the second quarter with entertainment questions. And in the fourth quarter, our teams will wager from their points accumulated to see who are today's clipboard captains, to be honored like the true benchwarmers they are. All right, let's get this game underway.
All right. Well, thank you, Daniel. Today's first quarter will be the missing link.
The missing link. This quarter will consist of 5 questions with theme-linked answers. The teams will attempt to answer the questions and guess the theme. Each question is worth 20 points. If a team checks in first via chat to the host with the correct theme before the 5th question, they will earn 100 points. The other team can still earn 50 points with the correct theme guess. If neither team has checked in with the correct theme before the 5th question, each team can earn 50 points with the correct answer to the theme after the 5th question.
All right. Well, question 1, first quarterback taken in the 2013 NFL draft, going to an AFC East team, started only 18 games in his 5 years in the NFL.
Okay, we're going to check in.
All right. Worf killed a kid, has checked in over under drinks consumed by Riley. Talk it out.
It's got to be a Jets. Is it? No, it's not Sanchez. It's got to be a Jets quarterback.
No, Sanchez started more than
It's
that.
got to be one of those, right? You would think it'd be a Jets guy.
Could be a 2013. Could have been
Or
a
Bills.
Yeah. I think this was the Eric Fisher. I think this was the Eric Fisher to the Chiefs draft. He was the number 1 overall.
How do you know that?
Because you do enough of this podcast. You look at number 1 overall picks because people ask questions about them.
But this is first quarterback taken, not number 1 overall.
I understand that. I was trying to get my bearings on the draft. Well, so let's see here. Around that time, Bills maybe. Did EJ Manuel, was he a first-round pick? He might have been a first-round pick. It's around the right time, isn't it?
I like it. Let's go with it.
I think that's around the right time. And 18 starts seems about right. All right, let's try that. We'll check in with EJ Manuel.
Over to Worf killed a kid. What'd you have?
Well, we got this pretty quick, but I'm not going to gloat like Worf did. Yes, we this 2013 draft is one of one of those bad quarterback drafts, and when you said first taken AFC East, brought me to the Bills pretty quick, and I was like, oh, this has to be EJ Manuel. So Eric agreed, so we also checked in with EJ Manuel.
Both teams getting their points. Yes, it is the amazing quarterback that was EJ Manuel. Selected, I forget what the number is, maybe 12 by the Bills. Didn't last long. I remember his first game-winning drive was against the Panthers, and it's still on the radio. I can hear it. It's like the EJ Manuel era begins. They were so pumped because he came back and beat the Panthers. And we'll move right on to question number 2. Very similar question. Who was the 4th quarterback taken in the 2011 draft, selected 12th by the Vikings?
We shall check in.
All right, checking in. Who was that? Worf killed a kid. Over and over drinks consumed by Riley. You guys can talk it out.
I don't want to. I don't. This. Are you trying to hurt me? What's?
Everything's better now. You have.
This was Christian Ponder. Gross. Check it in. Sorry if you needed me to say that because
I did need you to say that out loud.
God. Sorry, Riley. I didn't bother to.
That's all right. I just messaged him. If you don't know this, I'm so disappointed.
I knew it. I didn't want to. Ugh.
All right. Worf, you killed a kid. What was your answer?
Yes, handsome man Christian Ponder. is what we checked in with.
There it is. Both teams getting their points again. It is the lovely Florida State legend, Christian Ponder.
2 Florida State legends.
Theme linked answer, EJ Manuel and Christian Ponder. All right. Question number 3. This play became legal in 1906, first implemented in college and later by the professionals. The first play occurred in a game on October 27th, 1906. It involved names everyone's familiar with: George Peggy Parrott and Dan Bullet Riley.
Hey, Ede,
Yes, Worf.
we're turning around to gloat, noticing a pile of blood and checking in.
Child with a broken neck. All right, Worf killed a kid. It's checked in. Over under drinks consumed by Riley. Talk it out.
I don't know. I looked at the names and thought they were really whitey white baseball names. And I guess maybe pinch hitter. And then Josh threw a forward pass and hit me in the head, and now I'm bleeding on the ground.
Well, and if you think about the time frame, pretty much all sports were whitey white in the early 1900s. So I think that doesn't really narrow down which sport just because their names sound like they're white people. Because yeah, but yeah, I think this was the forward pass. You good with that?
I love it.
All right, we'll check in the forward pass.
All right, and Worf.
Yeah, David has reminded us of he was the line judge for this game and talks fondly about Peggy and Bullet and how they signed his stick that he used to roll a wheel down the street. They signed that for him after the game. So we also went with the forward pass.
All right, look at that. Both teams again getting their points. It is the forward pass. And my question is, why was George's nickname Peggy?
Boy, was there a Florida State quarterback named Forward Pass?
Chris forward pass Winky.
Florida State legend forward pass.
Oh boy.
All right, theme linked answers: EJ Manuel, Christian Ponder, and Florida State legend forward pass. On to question number 4. Audible call made famous by a Broncos quarterback and later started a company with his brother using this call.
Beat me to it.
Yeah, you were typing that?
Yep.
All right, we'll check in.
All right, over under drinks consumed by Riley. Worf killed a kid. Can talk it out now.
I don't think we really need to, unless we want to talk more about violent headers and.
No, but it did make me think of the episode of The League where Timothy Olyphant's like this white guy sushi chef, and Ruxin keeps calling him out for like, you know, cultural appropriation. And he goes, "Where are you from?" And he's like, "Omaha." So yeah, go ahead.
I'm good with Omaha.
Yeah,
We will check in with Omaha.
All right, and over under drinks consumed by Riley. What was your answer?
We also checked in with Omaha.
All right. Yes, both teams getting their points here. The correct answer is Florida State legend Omaha. All right. Themed linked answers so far. We have EJ Manuel, Christian Ponder, forward pass, and Omaha. Question number 5. Swedish winger who played for 13 years in the NHL for 5 different teams, most notably for the Red Wings. However, you may know his name because of an equine.
Ede, we're going to check in.
All right. Worf killed a kid. Over under drinks consumed by Riley.
Is there a hockey player whose nickname was Black Beauty or Seabiscuit or
I have no idea.
Famous Swedish winger, Seabiscuit.
Hidalgo?
I have no idea. I got 0 on this, Riley. I got nothing.
All right, let's guess ABBA.
Okay, sounds good. Check that in.
All right. And over to Worf killed a kid.
I think we caught on to the theme. It went back a few years, and we checked in with Nyquist.
One team getting their points here. Yes, the correct answer is Gustav Nyquist, currently playing for, I believe, the Wild. So right in Minnesota there. All right, so theme link answers so far. We have EJ Manuel, Christian Ponder, forward pass, Omaha, and Gustav Nyquist. So I have one team's correct theme guess, so I will give Over and under drinks consumed by Riley. Time to talk about their theme.
I don't know. I mean, I know that Omaha was a Triple Crown winner. These other names don't lead me towards that, but I mean, could these all be like maybe Kentucky Derby winners?
Okay.
Oh, yes, I think a horse named Nyquist did win the Kentucky Derby. So yeah, let's go with Kentucky Derby winners.
That famous horse forward pass. And Christian Ponder comes around the bend. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we'll check our theme in with Kentucky Derby winners.
All right, and over to Worf Killed a Kid.
Yeah, we how to say the Omaha, and then mentioning the equine in the last question tipped me off, and then I started trying to think, oh, what was the name of that horse that won the Derby a few years back? Nye something, and Marcus got us there, and I kind of assumed that they all fell into the Kentucky Derby winner thing. I think one of them, Forward Pass, was like really early in the Kentucky Derby winners, but I don't remember the other one. So that was the one that seemed to match up. So we went with Kentucky Derby winners.
All right, so Nyquist, yes, Kentucky Derby winner in 2016. And then we go all the way back to 1968 for the next one, which was Forward Pass. In 1949, we had Ponder. In 1935, there was Omaha. And on David's birthday, 1899, we had Manual. So yes, both teams getting the theme link there. They are Kentucky Derby winners.
Ugh. Hey, great missing link, Eric. Awesome.
Hey, sports related. You're welcome. All right. After the first quarter, we have over under drinks consumed by Riley with 130, and with a lead and a score of 150. Don't cross him because he'll kill you. It's Worf Killed a Kid.
We wanted to let you know that we are on Patreon if you'd be interested in supporting us financially. Your contributions will be used to help us cover the costs that it takes to bring you the high-quality sports trivia you have come to expect from us. There's also some great perks that come with the Patreon membership to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, including bonus episodes and Benchwarmers swag. You can find us at patreon.com/benchwarmerstp. Thanks.
All right. Now moving on to the second quarter, and today's second quarter will be what Josh thought the first quarter was: pre and post game.
Pre and post game. For this quarter, there will be 4 before and after style questions. For example, if I said, what all-time leader in receptions for the Indianapolis Colts was a Notre Dame safety drafted by the Minnesota Vikings, the answer would be Marvin Harrison Smith. Each question is worth 25 points.
We could just edit these around and
Flip
can be, yeah.
No, that's all right.
All right. Question 1 for pre and post game. 2023 NBA Rookie of the Year, and was on the receiving end of a Paul Heyman low blow at WrestleMania 41.
Ede, we're gonna check in.
All right, Worf Killed a Kid, checked in. Over under drinks consumed by Riley. Talk it out.
Paulo Banchero?
Paulo Banchero. I can't remember how to pronounce
Is
it.
Cherokee Kid a wrestler?
That was Tatanka, and he retired a long time ago.
The old wrestling, like the Bushwhackers, those dudes. Come on, look at each other's heads. What's not to like?
Greatest Royal Rumble appearance ever.
Could be Roman Reigns, since we end on Banchero.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's right, but
Good enough.
okay, we'll check that in.
All right, and over to Worf Killed a Kid.
We worked back to front as the Lord intends,
Unfortunately.
right?
And I didn't think CM Punk was going to fit in the, because Paul Heyman did also low blow CM Punk. And Paul Heyman really getting his money's worth, like really saucing it up and moving his arm around once he got in there. It's an interesting strategy. But I knew that it had to be Roman Reigns, and then we started thinking about, I thought of Tyler Hero, and then I was like, no, he's too old, and then Walling got the rest of it. So
Paulo Banchero, Roman Reigns.
All right, both teams getting their points. Yes, it is Paulo Banchero, Roman Reigns. Yeah, I watched WrestleMania for the first time in probably at least 25 years, and it was quite enjoyable, and I'm slowly getting back into it ever since. Who's that? Who's the blonde chick, Marcus?
Liv Morgan.
Yeah, that's good stuff. All right. Question number 2. One of the 2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks who has never lost a Super Bowl, and at the time of this recording, links forward who leads the WNBA in points per game.
All right, we'll check in.
All right. Over under drinks consumed by Riley's checked in. Worf killed a kid. Talked it out.
Oh, what about Joe Montana? Did he lose one?
No,
Okay.
that would make more sense because I was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
he can't go off the last letter.
He
That'd
is. I was
be
gonna say.
diabolical.
I believe I've been chided for going off a last letter before, and I don't. Think
I know. I was like, he can't do that. So
that
yeah,
makes way more
again,
sense.
going back to front and flying in the face of everything we've been telling everyone, because I know that Nafisa Collier is the leading scorer in the league, and yeah, so I think we're good with that.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so we'll check in with Joe Montana, Nafisa Collier.
And over under drinks consumed by Riley.
Yep, I knew the second half. I knew it was Nafisa Collier because she's great and go Lynx. And Joe Montana didn't lose one, and those worked. I'm not sure. We threw some other names for the other quarterback, but
There's only 2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks who have never lost a Super Bowl.
Multiple. I'm sorry. Did I not put multiple in there? Yeah.
This
This
is
is one of the
that has
2.
never lost
We
a Super
assumed.
Bowl.
Because Flacco didn't lose one. Eli didn't lose one. Montana didn't lose one. There's 3.
Well, sorry. I forgot multiple.
I
Multiple
was like,
Super Bowl winning.
that's where I
quarterbacks.
got stuck.
Okay.
I was like,
All right. Well, anyway, it didn't
Yeah.
matter because
because
we
he has
got
the basketball player.
we got to Joe Montana, Nafisa Collier as well.
Yes, both teams getting their points. It is Joe Montana, Nafisa Collier. All right. Question number 3, pre and post game. Diamondbacks player currently with 16 home runs through 58 games, and the NHL team that set the record for most consecutive losses in the Eastern Conference Finals with 15.
We're gonna check in.
All right. Worf killed the kids. Checked in. Over under drinks consumed by Riley.
Oh, you know what? This I don't know if this is correct, but I know there is Corbin Carroll. He's a Diamondback. I could see him possibly having 16 home runs. And with Carroll, it could be Carolina Hurricanes.
I love it.
Yeah, I think they just got swept. Obviously, they've lost a lot. They've got swept a few times, it appears. So, so Corbin, Carolina Hurricanes. Check it in.
All right. And Worf killed a kid. What do you got?
I think they won one game. Bravely fought back to not lose every game by 4 goals. But we worked back to front again. And now everything smells. But we came up with Corbin, Carolina Hurricane.
Yes. Both teams getting their points here. Yes, it's the Corbin, Carolina Hurricanes. The Hurricanes have not done well ever since winning their Stanley Cup. I believe they lost to the Penguins in 4, then the Bruins in 4, and then the Panthers in 4, and then the Panthers in 5. So yes, they finally did win one in the Eastern Conference Finals. Finally, after
losing
years.
4, 4, 4, and 3.
Yeah, and the
They got
first 3
swept.
were not close.
Their last 3 prior to this year, they got swept. It was
And then they lost.
crazy.
And then they lost the first 3 of this one,
Yes.
and then won 1.
You got it. Yeah. Had to ruin that. It's one of those times where things are just, it's like the White Sox last year. They were just so bad. It was like, I want to see how bad this can get.
15 is pretty bad.
It's pretty,
When
to be
you
that
make
good.
it to the
And then,
conference finals, and then you're that bad at that level.
Oh,
Oof.
loved it. It's almost like being a Cowboys fan. Anyway. All right, let's move on to question number 4. Titans wide receiver that came up 1 yard short, and the Hawks guard that led the NBA in steals in 24-25 with almost 100 more steals than the next closest player.
We'll check in.
All right, Worf killed a kid. Checking in quickly. Over under. Drinks consumed by Riley. Talk about it.
God, who was that?
I've got Anaconda going in the background, and John Voight should have won an Oscar just for his facial expressions.
I think the receiver was Kevin Dyson.
Is it Sonny someone or Onion someone?
And that's what happens when you go back to front all the time.
Oh, you know what? I think his first name is Dyson.
Not onion powder.
No. I think it's so I think this is going to be Kevin Dyson Daniels.
All right, and over to Worf Killed a Kid.
Yeah, I knew that. I mean, Kevin Dyson. How can you not forget that? But I knew he was the Steals leader because apparently there's a section of Hawk fans that are trying to give him a nickname, and every NBA pundit that I know is like, they can't do that because it's awful. Because he's Australian, and they want to call him the Great Barrier Thief. And so that's why I know Dyson Daniels. So we
That's
also
great.
checked in with Kevin Dyson Daniels.
Yeah, according to his basketball reference page, his nickname is the Great Barrier Thief.
Oh,
But
goodness.
why isn't it like? Shouldn't he also have the nickname the Vacuum? Because just the Dyson,
Right.
like,
Right.
That would
yeah.
make that's where I thought Marcus was going to say was like that he's the vacuum.
Should be the sucker.
Great Barrier Thief.
that's good too. That's you know what?
It's hilarious.
Anyway. People aren't allowed to have fun anymore, I guess. Whatever.
I could totally see that on
Yeah.
like one of those '90s posters with him snorkeling
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
spearing a basketball out
Yeah.
of the reef.
There's like
Oh
a
my
mermaid
God.
in the background.
with,
AI
with,
needs
with that
to
little
get on that
knife,
right now.
with that little knife strap on his leg.
Yes.
It does feel like a 90s NBA nickname.
Very
Yes.
90s.
Big Kathy Ireland as a
And
mermaid.
that's called the greatest generation ever in basketball is the 90s NBA.
Ugh.
Anyway. All right. Well, after the second quarter, over under drinks consumed by Riley at 230. And Worf Killed a Kid. They're still in the lead, 250. That brings us to halftime.
It is now time for the halftime show. There will be 3 entertainment questions. Each question is worth 25 points.
Everyone loves these halftimes, I know. So I'm going to list some characters from a movie. Just tell me what movie they are. Yeah, it's simple. Very simple. Question number 1. Ryder, Sky, Chase, Victoria Vance, and Mayor Humdinger.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
You need to be very specific.
Uh,
I have no idea. No, I'm not gonna. I won't hold you there.
okay. All right. All right. Then if we don't have to be very specific, we'll check in.
All right. Worf Killed a Kid's checked in.
Is this a cartoon?
Maybe. You know any cartoons with a Ryder, Sky, and Chase?
He said it's not up my alley, so I'm guessing this is Disney because I am not into Disney at all. Dude, honestly, it sounds like the cast of a porno.
I mean, you're not wrong. I have no idea.
Number 3, number 4,
It's
Backdoor Bandits. I don't know. He said specificity, so Backdoor Bandits, number 4.
Okay, that's what we'll check in with.
All right, and over to Worf Killed a Kid. Maybe this kid watched this movie before this.
yeah. I hope so. Just so he had a good memory of the. Let's see. Chase is the cop. Ryder. Sky is like a pilot. I can't remember what Ryder is.
Dog.
It's just a dog in general. But this is Paw Patrol.
Actually, Ryder's not a dog. Ryder is the boy.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Why I couldn't remember which one it was.
So yeah, and Victoria Vance and the mayor is the bad guy, which is kind of weird if you ask me. That he's constantly in jail, but still the mayor. I don't understand it.
Disney's trying to indoctrinate our children into hating the government.
I don't think this is Disney. Is it?
Is it? I think it is.
Is
Sir.
it?
I believe it is on
All right.
Disney Junior.
Is it?
Okay, so
All right.
apparently
Well,
this halftime is going to be brought to you by fathers
Mike.
of young children. Okay.
give it a minute.
No, I'm not going to give it any minutes.
The
Paw
correct
Patrol
answer
will get
is
0 minutes of my time.
Paw Patrol, the Mighty Movie, is the one I was looking for, but I will accept any form of Paw Patrol as the answer.
Wow.
All right, let's move on to question number 2. I hope your kids have not watched this movie.
That's our first answer.
All right.
It's
Characters in this movie: Conan O'Brien, the Baldwin brothers, a Canadian ambassador, Brooke Shields, and a Canadian fighter pilot.
We'll check in.
All right. Worf killed the kids checked in. Over under drinks consumed by Riley. Talk it out.
Which Baldwin brothers? All of them?
The Baldwin brothers.
Oh,
So we have Steven, Alec, and the other one, Canadian ambassador. What?
I don't know. There was John Candy was in one called Canadian Bacon.
All right, Canadian bacon. I don't know. These two losing their shit is.
All right. Worf killed a kid. What was your answer?
I
Marcus?
have to say this. I was like, I messaged Walling and I said, Josh is going to be so mad if he doesn't get this. Because to call them saying they're in the movie is they are characters in the movie.
They're characters in the movie.
Right.
That doesn't help me.
I
don't
know, but
any
he
movie
means
they're
that they're
in offhand.
characters, as in they're not actually those people. All the Baldwins are dead. It's the South Park movie, bigger, longer, and uncut.
We spent the rest of the time either quoting or naming other people that were in the movie, like Brian Boitano and
As soon as
Brian
Marcus
Sports
said
Denny.
movie.
that, I was like, it's a South Park.
Yeah.
movie.
As
And
soon as
Brian-
he was saying it too, so stupid.
And Brian Dennehy, who got confused about the song about Brian Boitano, and came out.
Oh, Brian Dennehy.
I'm TV's Brian Dennehy.
Yeah, one team getting their point there. Let's move on to question 3. This is going over well. Question number 3: characters: Gary, Tim Robbins, Alec Baldwin, Kim Jong Il, and Matt Damon.
Oh my God. Checked in.
Over under drinks consumed by Riley's checked in. Worf killed a kid.
Dude, my favorite joke of the whole movie is when that one terrorist is running away and he shoots a rocket launcher, hits the Eiffel Tower and knocks it over, and he just goes, "Damn, I missed him."
We always that was
Okay,
darker,
so,
darker.
yes,
That
we'll
was the
check-
one that was coming.
We'll check in with Team America World Police.
Yeah.
All right, and over under consumed or drinks consumed by Riley. What do you got?
We're checking in with Team America. Bleep, yeah.
So yes, both teams getting their points. It was the main reason I wrote that one is because I was at work on Friday and somebody happened to mention full-blown AIDS. So the rest of the day, the Everyone Has AIDS song was in my head.
That movie is so ingrained in my brain that anytime somebody puts up somebody that freedom isn't free, all I can think of is
I know. Freedom costs a buck.
So
is
am I not aware that Paw Patrol was done by
yeah, by Trey Parker.
Trey
and Matt
Parker.
Stone.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
I
They've
figured
really
that's the
chilled out.
theme. That must be
They've
the
chilled out in
theme.
their old age.
The best thing those guys ever did was Cannibal the Musical. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Book of Mormon's pretty good.
No,
It's better.
Cannibal the Musical.
Orgasmo
Cannibal
is
the
good.
Musical is like one of the first things they ever did. And it is hilarious.
It's good. It's very good.
Hilarious.
They did do the greatest sports movie of all time. So I mean, there's that.
That is true.
That's canon.
All right. Anyway, after halftime, we have scores. Over under drinks consumed by Riley, 255, and Worf killed a kid, 325. And today's third quarter will be 5-on-3.
Five on 3. For this quarter, there will be 3 categorized lists containing 5 items, where each item is worth 10 points. The teams will attempt to guess as many items as they can. However, if a team has an incorrect guess, they will receive 0 points for that list.
All right. Question number 1 for the third quarter. I'm looking for the last 5 unique teams to win the NHL Eastern Conference Championship.
We'll check in.
All right. Over and under drinks consumed by Riley has checked in. Worf killed a kid. Talk it out.
I'm sure of 2. Pretty sure that the Bruins are like it's close enough. Like that was 19 was the Blues. They beat the Bruins. So that the question is, I think the Canadians are in there too. And then after that, I can't remember when the last time the Penguins were in, or if the Capitals.
Did you
were
say the
before them.
Penguins?
The Penguins, yeah, the Penguins.
Penguin is a great
Penguin.
Chimpokemon I've heard.
You American, have you?
I like the Capitals because I feel like they did win not that long ago.
Okay,
Like
well, they were then they would have had to have been like pretty, yeah, because they were close. I couldn't remember if they were right before or right after the Blues. I definitely remember the Blues being close to there. So I think I like Blues. I like Bruins. Or sorry, not Blues. I don't like Blues. Wrong conference. Florida for sure. Tampa for sure.
yes,
Boston for sure.
I like the Capitals.
Capitals. Okay. And I feel like the Canadians are in there somewhere, but I can't put a finger on it, so I'm not super. I'm good with 4 if you are.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, cool. We'll check in with those. So Bruins, Capitals, Lightning, and Panthers.
All right. And over and under drinks consumed by Riley.
Riley was all over this one. He was.
Yeah, and in case you put your bets in FanDuel, we're at 4.
Oh, we've hit the over. Panthers, Lightning. I think they've had the last 5
Making it
combined.
rain.
And I think Bruins, Capitals, Penguins. So those are the 5 we're checking in with.
All right. Both teams getting their points here. Walling, luckily you did not go with the Canadians because they are not recognized as Eastern Conference champions that season because it was not conference-based playoffs held due to COVID.
Oh, that was the bubble year?
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
So yes, they
I
were
thought-
not recognized as Eastern Conference champions that season. So yeah, that would have been incorrect if you went that way. So one team getting all 5 points, the other team getting. So let's go through that real quick. We have the Panthers, the last 3, followed by the Lightning, the 3 before that. In 2019, since we're skipping the COVID season, we have the Bruins, 2018, the Capitals, and 16 and 17, the Pittsburgh Penguins. All right, moving on to question number 2. I'm looking for the NFL teams with the most combined interceptions and sacks in the 2024 season.
Hey, Ede. After Marcus and I had a violent head collision, he left to straighten his neck, but I will check in.
All right. Worf killed a kid. Has checked in. Over under drinks consumed by Riley. Talk it out.
We're throwing a lot of names out. I'm pretty sure the Broncos are one of them.
I think they had the most sacks.
Yeah.
That's going to be the higher number of the 2 anyway.
Surtain was, Surtain. And what was the other? Riley? Was that the other guy on the other side of him? He had a pretty good year. I feel like the Broncos are one of them.
I think they'll definitely be one of them, yes. I think the Vikings might, because I think they led the league in interceptions. I think. And they also were pretty high on the sack list as well, because the ends got to the quarterbacks quite a bit. So I think I like both of them.
I put the Eagles in there because they play the Giants twice. So
I just don't. I mean, it's like I don't know I don't know if the Super Bowl is throwing me off of how many sacks they would have had because they got a bajillion in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they were pretty dominant all year long.
I thought Baltimore got after the quarterback quite a bit. But do I feel confident in that? I don't know.
I mean, they've always been a really defensive team.
Did Houston have the Cowboys always seem to have a bunch of sacks, but
I refuse to answer the Cowboys for anything.
All right. Well, so you feel
Broncos,
great with
Ravens,
Broncos.
Vikings.
I feel great with the Vikings. Do we want to go Ravens?
Yeah, just throw them in there.
All right. We're going to check in Broncos, Vikings, Ravens.
All right. And over to Worf killed a kid.
Yeah, we thought the Ravens were up there. I know Kyle Van Noy had a bunch of sacks, and I'm fairly positive that Marlon Humphrey was one of the leaders in picks. So Ravens, Vikings for sure. They had a lot of picks and sacks. Broncos, Nick Benito was up there.
That's his name. I couldn't get to it.
Yeah, and they also, Surtain was up there in picks. And then we decided to go with Houston because I think they had. Well, what sealed it is Walling and I both remembered that they had Danielle Hunter, and I think
he had a big
Oh,
season.
he had a big
Yeah.
season, and
Yeah,
then they got a lot of picks too. So, so we checked in with Ravens, Vikings, Broncos, Texans.
All right. Well, starting with the team with the most, they had 63 sacks and 15 interceptions for 78 total. That's the Broncos. And then we have the next team with 49 sacks, 24 interceptions. That's the Vikings with a total of 73. Then we have 49 sacks and 19 interceptions for the Texans, putting them at 68.
Yeah.
And then 54 sacks and 12 interceptions for the Ravens, puts them at 66. And they were mentioned briefly. One person would refuse to use them as an answer. But with 52 sacks and 13 interceptions, the Cowboys.
They're so
at
gross.
65.
I didn't think
Yeah.
they had enough
Teams right on
interceptions.
the outside. You had the Chargers, Packers, Seahawks were close. But yeah.
If I had a little bit more time to think about the Texans and really remember that Danielle Hunter was up there with
Yeah, I did.
Jonathan
The-
Grenard, because they both had about the same number of sacks, which so it's
And Will Anderson. I was just
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing somebody that to solidify it. And then I was like, oh my God, they had Danielle Hunter. Excuse me, Danielle Hunter.
Wow. That's fine. You can call him that now.
Oh, no, I would never call him that.
Now, don't say it to his face.
No.
Say it
That
to his
dude'll,
back.
that dude'll rip you
Way
in
more.
half.
Yes, he would. I don't want
All
that.
right. Moving on to question number 3. We're looking for the most career receiving touchdowns by a player to never make a Pro Bowl.
Oh, dear God.
Oh.
This is probably going to play a little harder than I expected.
Wow.
I don't know how to give hints on this, but
You can't. I don't think
Yeah.
you can. Oh my gosh.
Oh, let's just watch us twist in the wind. That'll be fine. Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
these are all well-known names. I will say that. One was mentioned in the last game I hosted, so
That's the one I just typed to you, Riley. That's the one that Ede is talking about. Yes, there was a decent discussion about that the last time.
here's my hint. I will give you a small hint. Each team, meaning Marcus and Walling and Riley and Josh, have a player that is well known for one of your teams. I mean, for Walling, that could be anybody, but
It's definitely Randy
but-
Moss.
yeah.
Randy Moss is definitely one of them.
You good with that? All right.
Yeah, we'll check in.
All right, Worf killed a guys. Checked in. Over under drinks consumed by Riley. You guys got about. I'll give you about 45 seconds. Hammer out your list.
I feel pretty good about Amani Toomer. You got Marquise Colston,
Yeah, Colston is the one that he was referencing.
Joey Galloway. You want to just go with those
I
three, or is there someone else
I
that
think
you're?
that's another one I've heard, which actually I think might be the one that would solidify for both Marcus and Walling. I'm not sure of another Cowboy who would maybe be on that list. I'm not
It's-
sure who a Viking could
They
be.
had so many. Just
No,
really
don't
good-
think it like that. I said each team has at least one player, so it might not be your team.
Oh, I see. One of the
Yeah.
so thus
Between you,
Giants
yes.
might be the one for ours, and either
Yes.
or both of.
Yes.
Got it. I don't. I'm just trying to think if there's anyone else because I didn't think there would that a Viking could be there. So I don't know if I have another one. I'll go with the 3. Go with
right. We'll go with Amani Toomer, Marquise Colston, and Joey Galloway.
All right, and over to Worf killed a kid.
Oh
Uh.
man, that's a gut punch if I ever received one. Why?
Did you guys not have Joey Galloway on your list?
I didn't. I
Oh
didn't.
my.
Well, we identified a different name that we were like, yes, definitely.
Maybe I'm wrong then. I don't know, but I thought that.
No, I
Yes.
think you're very right. But we also had Marcus Colston and Amani Toomer.
It's not a tumor.
And it is a tumor. And then I was like, okay, Seahawk, and didn't think of Joey Galloway, and I was like, Tyler Lockett has been to one Pro Bowl, I know that. But I know that stupid idiot Doug Baldwin did have around 50. But I don't think that's going to be enough to be on it. So we checked in with 3. We checked in with Colston Toomer and Doug Baldwin.
All right. Well, let's start here with the most touchdowns. There was one thing I didn't mention, but I didn't think anybody would go that far back. But the Pro Bowl started in, I forget what year. So Don Hudson is exempt from this list. So he clearly has the most touchdowns without a Pro Bowl because the Pro Bowl wasn't a thing. But people that were eligible for the Pro Bowl that never made it, 1 with 77 touchdowns is Joey Galloway. 2 with 72 touchdowns is Marquise Colston. 3, 64 touchdowns, Giants legend Plaxico Burress.
Oh, you were right,
What?
Walling. You were right. You were right, Walling.
Nuh-uh.
I didn't feel that strong about it though, but yeah.
4 with 60 touchdowns. No one said his name, but it's Brandon Cooks.
Oh God, he's been playing
He's the
forever.
He's the new Joey Galloway. He is the modern day Joey Galloway.
Just goes to a bunch of other teams, scores
and just
a
hangs
handful
around,
of touchdowns, and
has 700 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns every year.
And number 5 with 58 is Marvin Jones.
oh,
Junior?
Neither
yeah.
team getting their points here.
Yuck.
Armani Toomer is on this list, but he is number 7
Ooh.
with 54.
Ugh.
Tied with Michael Crabtree and Ricky Prohl.
Oh, yeah. Seahawks legend Ricky
Ricky
Prohl.
Prohl. Wow.
Doug
Michael
Baldwin
Crabtree.
is not on this list because he has made 2 Pro Bowls.
Oh, really?
I didn't-
Well, he has played in the era of
Yes, everyone gets
everybody doesn't
Yeah,
they quit
he had
on
that.
going.
He had that 14 touchdown year that made everybody think he was good.
And I'm sure that there were a bunch of other receivers who said, "No, I'm not going to go to the Pro Bowl." So then,
I will tell you this, Marcus, that season where he was the NFL receiving touchdowns co-leader in 2015,
that
Yeah,
wasn't one
didn't
of
make the
theirs?
Pro Bowl. Not make the Pro Bowl
Hilarious.
that year.
Oh, that's
16
awesome.
and 17 he made it, so make up years, I guess.
Wow.
Plex crossed my
Yeah,
mind, but I was like, he wasn't there long enough to.
But he played all over. I mean,
I know.
Yeah.
My pettiness for Doug Baldwin, I think I brought it up the first time I ever came on this show, but I contend that Brian Blades is a better receiver than Doug Baldwin, and I actually made a spreadsheet about it to illustrate this to my friends, because I said other than that outlier year, their stats are pretty similar. Blades played a little bit longer and played with like the likes of Rick Meyer and John Freeze, and Doug Baldwin played with in that era with the best quarterback in team history. So I'm like, he's not good.
All right. Well, after the third quarter, we have scores. Over under drinks consumed by Riley, 335. And still in the lead, Worf killed a kid with 405. And that brings us to the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, known as Put Your Fours Up. This quarter consists of 4 categorized questions that teams will wager up to 100 points each, not to exceed their current point total.
Categories for today's fourth quarter are as follows. Question 1, the snake, which is a hockey question. I'm not hiding it. Question 2, the rat, which is about relocation. Question 3, the cat, Major League Baseball. And question 4, the dog. It's women adjacent. No, I'm kidding. It's basketball, kind of. It is now time for the teams to place their wagers.
We'd like to take a minute to invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at BenchwarmersTP. We also have a Facebook group for fans of the pod called The Bench. Join us there to comment on the latest episodes and share cool sports facts and trivia. If you'd be willing to rate and review us on iTunes or Stitcher, we'd greatly appreciate the support so that other people may find this podcast. Thanks.
Now that the wagers are in, on to the questions. Question number 1 of the 4th quarter. The non-hidden hockey question. What Hall of Fame goalie is credited for being the first goaltender to wear a mask in regulation on a regular basis? His number 1 was retired by the Canadiens, and he was named one of the top 100 greatest NHL players of all time in 2017.
Okay, we're going to check in.
All right, Worf Kill the Guys checked in. Over under drinks consumed by Riley talked about.
Ellie, you got anything to? I saw your Canada McMaple bacon,
Wow.
which
Canada
which
McMaple
sadly
bacon,
now
wow.
reminds me of the halftime where my answer was Canadian bacon. But I
That's
think
the best
it's
I got.
I think it's Jacques Plante. I think that is who it is.
Yeah, I got some of this out in the yard.
You got some Jacques Plantes. All right, nice. So we're gonna check in Jacques Plante for 35 points.
All right, and over to Worf Kill the Kid. Answer and wager.
Well, Marcus pointed out that he has a very famous cousin, Robert.
Robert Plant.
Robert Plant. That's his, Robert Plant.
Le
He's-
Zemplin.
Yeah, Les Semblants. But we also checked in with Robert's cousin, Jacques Plant.
Hey,
Yeah.
baby. Hey, baby. The way you
All
move.
right.
And
Yes,
make me sweat and make me groove.
Both teams getting their points here. Yes, it is Jacques Plante. He wore the first mask in regulation, and I don't know what that really helped because it was just a piece of plastic touching their face that would still get demolished as they were hit in the face with the puck. But
It might
I
take
guess-
a little bit of the.
less blood maybe. I'd probably not, but your nose
No,
is
because
still
then your
broken,
face is
dude.
getting cut up by all that broken plastic.
Right.
But it looks menacing. He's like,
Yeah.
"Grr."
Anyway. All right, question number 2, category the Rat. The River Rats operated from 1993 until 2010. After 2010, they moved to Charlotte where they became the Checkers. In what city would you have seen the River Rats, and what sport were they playing?
Okay, you good with that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Ede, we're gonna check in.
All right. Worf Killed the Guys checked in. Over under drinks consumed by Riley talking up.
But I'm guessing this is like minor league.
Absolutely. And the reason that I'm saying
It is Ede after all.
it is Eat after all. So I wonder if this is a secret hockey question,
After
where the
other
first one was a
hockey
not so secret hockey question. Eid would be the one guy who would throw in 2 hockey questions, but
So-
I couldn't tell you where they.
I mean, the Boston
Minor
River
league
Rats
hockey,
sounds.
by the way,
but you
I'd
got
have
the
a hard,
Bruins, so
I'd have a hard enough time with minor league baseball, let alone minor league hockey.
I could definitely see the Dropkick Murphys singing about the River Rats.
And is Boston known for rivers? I don't think of
know.
rivers when I think Boston. Pittsburgh, they're known for rivers,
I don't know. I don't actually think of
but they
water,
probably
at least
don't
when
have
I
a
hear River
minor
Rats,
league team.
I think more.
where they have a pro team. So, I have no idea. I know that there was a St. Cloud River Bats, which was a college wood bat summer league for baseball, but that's not what this is because they were the River Bats, not the River Rats. So I have no. I'm gonna say it's hockey, but I have no idea on the city. They moved to Charlotte and became the Checkers. That does not help me at all.
River Rats and the Chubby.
Oh, the
Checkers.
Checkers would lead me to think hockey as well. But the Charlotte Checkers. Nope. Any other cities known for rivers? Cleveland. Didn't their start on
No.
fire?
Fiery Lake.
I don't know.
What's Dayton, Ohio? Five Rivers.
Sure. Should we say the Dayton River Rats? I mean, we just need to pick a city because I have no clue.
Whatever you want, man.
Now, let's go with Dayton.
All right, Dayton, Ohio.
We'll call him. We'll check in with Dayton and hockey.
How many points?
100 apparently.
1 million.
All right, and over to Worf killed a kid.
If they were the Chubby Checkers, they'd be from San Antonio. Am I right?
Yeah.
Hooray! We also said hockey. I thought we've heard. I don't know if we've heard an amateur or like a minor league hockey question before with the checkers in it, but for some reason I also had Cleveland on my brain. So as the answer for this, so we did check in with the Cleveland River Rats
In hockey.
in hockey
How many points?
for 100 points.
Oof. Yeah.
As the
All
missing-
right. Well, neither team getting any points here. Yes, it is hockey. And maybe you should have phoned a friend. You could have called Scott, and he could have told you that the River Rats came from Albany, New York.
Name 100 cities in America, and Albany's shown up on that list.
Hoofda.
All right. Well, yeah, let's not talk about that question anymore. Both teams lost their 100 points. Moving on to question number 3, category the cat. Andres Galarraga played for 19 years, appearing in 2,257 games and representing 7 different teams. Which 2 teams did he have 2 separate stints with?
So are we
Yeah, I think we're good.
Gross.
okay?
You're good. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, we're gonna check in.
All right, Worf killed the guys. Checked in. Over under drinks for Riley. Talk it up.
I got
Yeah.
one.
We're thinking the Reds and the Nationals.
I don't
just-
think he
no,
played for
no,
either of those
no,
teams.
no.
I
We're
don't
not
think.
thinking
I mean, he
those.
could have at the end, but he started with the Expos, and I think he did end up going back for a season later in his career. He played for the Rockies for a good
All
stretch.
right, name the 5 teams he played for.
I can name you 2 for sure.
All right, then we're going.
Actually, I
with
think
the
I can
2.
name you 3 for. Okay.
Give me the third one.
So we start Expos, and I think that's one of the 2 he went to. Colorado. I think he played for the Braves.
All right, Rockies and Expos.
I don't think he went back to the Rockies, but he could have
All right,
maybe
then
at the end.
Braves.
No, I don't think. I
All right.
don't think of it. Let's just say the Rockies and the Expos. Expos is. I'm almost certain that's correct. I don't think Rockies is, but I don't have another good answer. So we'll check in with the Expos and I guess the Rockies, which I don't think is right for 100 points.
I'll jump in because I tap into my video game knowledge and
Oh, crap.
but it's what you already knew, Josh, is that I was positive that he started with the Expos and then he was there right at the end, right before they became the Nationals. So Expos for sure, and then Walling had the other.
Yeah, so he got brought into the Rangers and then couldn't hit his way out of a wet paper bag, and they traded him to the Giants, and then he went. I'm pretty sure he went to the Expos and then back to the Giants after that. So 2 stints with the Giants towards the end, 2 bracketed sort of Expos stints before they moved to Washington. So those are the teams that we checked in with for 100 points.
All right. 1 team getting their points. Yes, it was the first 8 seasons or so with the Expos, then to Colorado for a stint, Atlanta, then to the Rangers, just like Walling said, traded the Giants, back to the Expos, back to the Giants, and then finished his career with anybody?
The Reds.
Anyone? No?
No. No
Angels. The Angels.
Hmm.
idea. Hmm.
Nope. If you would have asked me if he ever played for the Giants, I would have said I have no effing clue.
I had no idea either.
All right. Question number 4, last question of the day, category the dog. Trending sports-related dog names of 2024. Wemby came in at number 2 behind what Eastern Conference point guard? He has 2 national championships and currently plays with 2 of his college teammates.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll check in. Ede.
All right. Dwarf killed a guy. Checked in. Over under drinks for Riley. Talk it out.
Is it a curry dog? I don't know.
No.
When I was in Germany, I ate a lot of curry dogs. They were delicious.
Are they better than fish hot dogs? Ede?
I think this might
you have
be
to ask David.
Jalen Brunson.
A Brunson dog?
Well, I mean, it's a name.
No,
Like they name their dog. It's not a breed of dog. Brunson plays with 2 of his Villanova teammates. He was about to play with 3 before Dante DiVincenzo got traded to the Wolves right before the night before training camp opened. So it has to be Brunson. I mean, I'm assuming we need the name. I hope it's Brunson. We'll just go with that, I guess.
Brunson dog.
No, just Brunson as a name. It's not a breed. It's a name. Riley, how many beers are you in now?
He gets so worked up.
Where are we at now? 5?
5. Yeah.
Whew. Yeah. Brunson, 100.
Dwarf killed a guy.
You're the man now, dog. Okay. Yeah, Walling.
Yeah. Well, I started with Jalen, and then I thought that's a dumb name for a dog. And then I realized it's probably Brunson. So we checked in with Brunson for 100 points.
I was just looking for the player, not so much the dog name. That's why I used Wemby. Like if I was asking for the dog name for Wemby, that would have been rude. But yeah, no one's naming their dog Wembenyama. They're just
Hey,
That's it.
someone
Whenever I get a
someone
dog,
is
I'm gonna
definitely
name
out
it
there like,
all
good Wembenyama.
Wembenyama.
You're a good Wembenyama.
The full name.
there you go.
No shortening it to Wemby either.
There you go. So yes, both teams getting their points. It is Jalen Brunson, and that's why I was kind of a Knicks fan for this season because they had 3 Villanova players on it.
Yeah,
That's
but then
the
they
best I
had
could do.
Pat on their team, so
That's
But then they had Tibbs.
you mean
yeah.
and Tibbs.
All right. Well, the game has come to an end, and here are the final scores, finishing with a very respectable 270 points.
973 million.
270 points. We have over and under drinks consumed by Riley. And today's clipboard captains of the game, who will be receiving the coveted Curtis Painter Award with 605 points. Worf killed a guy. Congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you, Riley, for coming on. Questions not so much in your wheelhouse, but hey, you were able to get some drinks
You
down.
never are.
We always appreciate you having you on. So just take a minute. Anything you want to say before we call it a night?
No, good times. The over was 5. Sorry everyone, I suck at sports trivia, but this podcast is great. If you give them money, awesome. Give them a couple bucks more because you want it to keep going. Marcus, it was great meeting you.
Good to meet
Josh,
you, man.
Sorry again.
Nothing to apologize about. You are a hoot to play with, so don't. I was more frustrated with Ede, not with you.
Wow.
The
What did I do?
The
Halftime was excellent.
Paw Patrol.
Something for
I mean,
everybody.
That
I
is
mean,
the first Paw
granted,
Patrol
now that
question
I
on
know
this
that it was
show.
made by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, maybe I need to go watch it because
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not as kid friendly as one would think.
Listen,
But no, this podcast is a blast. I have so much fun. Thank you guys for putting it on. And,
Thank you.
yeah.
Hey, is our promo code still working? The check your taint
it's been used 7 times.
at Dobo's
Oh, wow.
Delights.
Yep.
Get some
Yeah.
of the world's greatest Hungarian baked
Yeah.
goods.
So
And yeah, put in check your taint for a discount.
Speaking of Curry, before I forget, speaking of professional wrestling, there's a character that was on TNA, and he was called Curry Man, and he came out in a mask, and they'd go, "He's extra spicy, and he tastes great, Curry Man."
Oh my god.
So do yourself a favor tonight and look up Curry Man.
and the
And
Wharf
Wharf.
soccer.
And Worf. Oh yeah, and Worf telling a heartfelt story.
They won't have to look it up because it's going to be the episode graphic.
He was dead the next
Oh my
day.
word!
He
Oh,
died
you
the
know what?
next
No,
day.
I am editing this. I do the third and fourth
Oh,
quarters.
yeah.
I'm literally just going to
Gonna
put that at the
clip
end.
in.
Just put the clip in at the end.
So wait a minute. Hold on here. So it's
So stay tuned.
hold on. It's a luchador mask, but then he also wears
Has a little hat.
a little hat on top of the.
Harry, man.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Although
All
it
right,
looks
well-
like sometimes he wears a top hat.
Yes, he
So
does
it's
do
either
that.
it's the little hat for the ring.
And then he comes down to the ring and he does this little dance.
Oh my word!
Curry, man.
Oh my god!
So you're
That
welcome
is
for that.
disturbing.
Yeah, it's
Now I'm hungry.
All right. Well, on behalf of Josh, Walling, Marcus, Riley, and all the other benchwarmers, I've been Ede. Thanks for listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. And until next time, we'll keep the bench warm and stay tuned for a very heartfelt speech by Worf.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch! Get on back there. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes! Yes!
Into deep left center for Mitchell, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
That great music you're listening to is by Justin Nozick. Thanks to him for producing that music for us. You've been listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We are at Benchwarmers TP.
When I was 13, I was captain of my school soccer team. We had made the championships, and I was determined to win. Near the end of the second half, with the score tied, my team got a corner kick. The ball sailed up high. Both I and one of my opponents, a human boy named Mikkel, leapt up to head the ball. He had position, but I was determined to score. I remember laughing with excitement as I threw myself at him.
Go on.
The next thing I knew, the ball was sailing into their goal. I roared with triumph and turned around to Mikkel to gloat, only to find him lying in the grass bleeding. Our heads had collided when we both went up for the ball. I had not felt the impact, but I had broken his neck, and he died the next day.
It was an accident.
Which only makes it worse.